All right, welcome back to Business Today. Now, South Africa electric vehicles manufacturer Agilitee Africa is set to open in Nairobi in February this year, even as it seeks to expand to the East African market. Speaking to KTN's Nyakundi Calvin, the farm CEO, Dr. Mandla Lamba, confirmed that the move will contribute largely to job creation within the region and eventually improve green energy. Agilitee Africa is also looking to setting up a vehicle assembling plant in Nairobi. Let's listen to this conversation.
We're starting first with the opening of our first store where people can come in Nairobi. We will be able to come and see what products we have, just an introduction to the market within the month of February. And also we also looking at having the launch of our business in the market, which we will be doing a very large launch in February. During the same time as we open the store, we'll also be having a launch in Kenya. And then we start the process, which is going to be the most interesting part of our business in Kenya, the opening of job opportunities for Kenyans, where we will be building our first assembly plant for our products, so that the products we bring into the market are not assembled outside. Eventually, we'll get to even manufacturing the components locally there. We've made our vehicles very affordable because we understand the market in Africa. We are not here to sell cars. We are here to solve a problem. One of those problems in Africa, even in the Kenyan market, is high prices of petroleums, lower in employment, where people don't have jobs, and some they lost their jobs during COVID-19, and now they can't even afford petrol. The idea behind the Kenyan structure is not just entirely for Kenya to just grow the market in Kenya. We want to come into the market and establish this as we have just come in now. We've come into the market to establish an environment for Kenyans that would be able to feed the entire East African region. So our partnership in Kenya is not just for Kenya, it's for East Africa. But for us to reach out to East Africa, we need to bolster our in Kenya and empower the Kenyan operations too much that the operation is able to now supply the entire region. So the structure is that we own 70% of the Kenyan company, which is called Agilitee East Africa, which is set up in Nairobi, and our Kenyan partners led by Fred Muteti, they own 30% of the business. We've been investing in companies on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange since 2007. And this company, it's a private equity firm through which we do these investments in South Africa. And these investments on the JSE have helped us to grow because we do not use third-party capital. We use our own money. We invest on balance sheet. And this has helped us to grow enormously to a degree that the Riches has continued to be a good investor and supporting system for Agilitee over the past 4 years of Agilitee's existence in business. And now we're entering our 5th year this year. In May, we'll be 5 years in business as Agilitee. Our post-IPO strategy is very, very, very different from many companies that have gone public before, I'll tell you one of the biggest things I've had the opportunity to look at. We've seen the end of the old order of the world, where COVID-19 has crippled economies, and even now we are going into another deep recession that will lead us to a global depression that will be larger than anything we've ever seen, even before the Great Depression of 2019. Nothing compared to this. So you look at that, you look at the number of jobs that have been lost. You look at the number of jobs that are still standing to be lost. You look at a number of industries that will go and never come back because we're in a reset period where a new world order is setting its foot globally, and this is leading to a dying of industries and now the rise of artificial intelligence. Our post-IPO strategy now looks into areas of creating opportunities and jobs in other areas that would try and at least meet the jobs that have been lost. We may not be able to meet that, but we will try. So the post-IPO strategy for us is more of the development of the infrastructure of EVs in Africa, working with the governments in Africa. The idea is to have, it should be easy for you to say, I want to buy an electric car. Even if I live in a village, even if I don't have a power bank to charge it at home, it's easy for me because there are enough charging stations for electric vehicles everywhere. Electric vehicles, they don't just save the environment, but they also save money. If you can look at it right now, I'll give you an example. Right now, we're launching for the first time in Africa an e-hailing platform using electric cars that don't just come from Agilitee. We were running a research. The company is called Green 8 Mile, and we're running a research on it. And we discovered that with what we are bringing in, we will be able to chop what people are spending on e-hailing services when they take a taxi to take them to work, to places. We looked at it, we said we're going to be chopping at least 40% of the current cost. This would not be possible with petrol. If Africa doesn't take and grab this opportunity, even the current president in Kenya doesn't put his focus on this area, it will also be the same as it is with the petroleums and the oil industry. I believe without a doubt that we are at the juncture where if governments were to play part in the development of the infrastructure of EV, the position where the next generation will be much better, not just in terms of protecting the environment, not in terms of pollution, not in terms of the global warming, but in terms of building governments that are sustainable, that are cash generating, because in the future soon, probably 8 years from now, a button will be pressed.
Indeed, sustainable mobility in Africa. As